Husband works too much. Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm your life and relationship coach. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about finding yourself in a situation where you feel like you are maybe being neglected, or you feel a little bit isolated in your relationship because you feel like your husband works too much. First and foremost, I wanted to empathize with you because I understand how difficult that situation can be. But most of the time in this situation, it is because your husband is oblivious to the fact that you are feeling that way. Men have a tendency of prioritizing their independence and success over their relationships. And it's not necessarily that they are intentionally doing that, but they gauge themselves as a man by their level of success. So if he is hyper focused on his work and he is hyper focused on his business, it is most likely because he is trying to reach this level of success that he has set for himself. And what ends up happening is that other things start to suffer, like relationships, friendships, and all those other things. Now, I'm not saying that is okay. I'm not saying that is the best way to have a successful relationship, but I wanted to give you a little bit of insight as to what may potentially be happening. And like I said, it is more likely that he's probably just oblivious to the situation. So here are some things to take into consideration and what you can do. As I mentioned before, take into consideration the fact that a man prioritizes his success. And if he feels like he is failing, then he feels less of a man. And if he feels less of a man, that means he is less confident. And if he is less confident, that means he's feeling less attractive, which affects your relationship. So again, it is not necessarily that they are intentionally trying to make you feel as if they are neglecting you or that he is too busy. And maybe you don't feel neglected. You're just trying to figure out how to maneuver through a relationship in which your husband is incredibly busy. Either way, here are a few things that you can do if you are in a relationship with somebody who is busy. Step number one, work on your self-confidence. A lot of the times, individuals who are insecure or don't feel completely comfortable with themselves, if they are in a relationship with somebody who is busy, they get triggered all the time. Those insecurities start to bubble up and they feel as if they are being neglected. They feel as if they are not being validated in the relationship, and that can lead to some trouble. So, building your self-confidence, doing things that make you happy, investing in yourself. If there are things that you haven't done that you want to do them. Step outside of your comfort zone. By doing these things, by filling your schedule and by basically making yourself equal in regards to your husband's or your boyfriend's busyness, then you don't have as much time on your hands to think about how busy he is. And by becoming more self-confident, that actually increases the attraction level in the relationship, and it will probably end up making him notice you even more than he did before. Step number two, or tip number two, be more affectionate. Now, I know this seems kind of weird because if your husband is busy all the time, I'm sure there are some resentments that you may have. There are some frustrations that you may have, and affection is the last thing that you want to do. But by being affectionate, by showing that support in his endeavor to become successful, that is something that he will take into account. That is something that he will see, and that is something that he will appreciate. Now, it doesn't need to be overly affectionate. It doesn't need to be that you're all over him when he comes home from work, but it's just small little gestures. Putting your hand on his leg or his thigh when you guys are watching a movie together, if you have the time to watch a movie together. Maybe it's just giving him a quick kiss when he comes in from the house, but also it's your body language. So being open, not crossing your arms when you're having a conversation, not rolling your eyes when he's saying something. Body language has a lot to do with how you exude affection. So if you are finding that you are closed off and you are, not really giving off the best body language, this can come off as being not being affectionate. This can come off as actually negative energy and negative vibes. And as we know, guys don't do well with drama and negativity. Step number three, surprise him. If he is busy at work all the time, there are little things that you can do to surprise him. So send him his favorite chocolates to his job with a little note in it, or even maybe plan a dinner date with him. And I know what you're saying. You're probably like, well, he's busy all the time, so how am I going to plan a dinner date with him? But men who are usually that busy and focused on work live by a schedule. They live by their calendar. So you can plug into his calendar dinner date on Friday, the 26th, and don't say which place you're going to go to. Just put dinner date with your wife. If you plug this into his schedule, if you plug this into his calendar, I guarantee you it will happen because, like I said, busy men live and breathe by their calendar. And the surprise can be maybe it's one of his favorite restaurants that he hasn't been to in a long time because he is constantly busy. Those little things make all the difference in the world and make him feel supported. Number 4, having the right attitude. Having the right attitude is so important because if you are in a negative headspace, all of that will actually manifest in your relationship. You will start to nag him. You will start to potentially get clingy and needy. You guys will start to fight all the time. And all of those things are unnecessary. It is about changing your perception and changing your mindset. It's not necessarily that he is choosing his job over you, which a lot of people think. A lot of women think that way. He is just hyper focused on trying to become successful because he wants to support you. He wants to support his family, and he wants to feel fulfilled as a man. So if you are able to change your perception, then your entire view on the relationship will change. Tip number 5, build him up. Instead of breaking him down, instead of criticizing him, instead of making him feel guilty that he is at work all the time and that he is not spending time with you, build him up instead. As I mentioned before in other videos, men prioritize their independence. So if you are making them feel bad about their aspirations and their dreams and their drive for success, it's likely that they will choose that drive and that aspiration and that independence over the relationship. Or what will end up happening is that he will just become incredibly dissatisfied in the relationship because he feels like you do not support him, when in his mind, he is probably working this hard to try to support you and to support the family. So build him up. Tell him how much you appreciate what he does. Let him know that you support him in his endeavors, and just be that support system for him. Now, if you feel like your relationship is just in a routine and in a rut and you don't know how to get out of it, and maybe the reason why you are in that rut and you are in that routine is just because he's working all the time and you don't really have anything going on and you just don't really know if this is going to work and how the dynamics are going to shift, please click on the private video below. I have created a training on how to break routine in a relationship. And as I have said before, routine is a killer of all relationships. So if you want to have a happy and successful relationship, click on that link. If you relate to this content, please hit like or subscribe. If you have any questions, if you are currently going through this or you have gone through this before, I would love to hear from you. Please leave your comments in the comment box below. Or if you just want to dive in a little bit deeper, you want to know a little bit more, please visit us at happilycommitted.com, where we have a multitude of different videos, blogs, and articles related to this topic and several other topics as well. You can also book a one-on-one coaching session with either myself or any of the other amazing coaches that we have on the team. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy, and I hope to see you guys soon.